Hey everyone, Ivy Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. For today's video, I'm going to showcase my free-to-play Starlight-only challenge account doing Grave of Venom 8 with no legendary gear, no legendary artifacts, and no legendary heroes. So often when I hear people talking or complaining about pushing content, it's kind of in the matter of, I'm trying to do stage 9, I'm trying to do stage 8, but they have no legendary gear. They have no whatever. Like, you're like, you gotta grind the lower stuff before you could really get into the higher stuff. Like, give yourself a break, right? Like, or this is kind of the progression. Like, you farm 7 for a little bit, get a few pieces of gear just to make farming 8 a little bit easier. By the time you've farmed a bit of 8 to get most of your people and decent legendary gear, you could probably try to push to 9. But I can't see farming stage 9 without solid legendary gear, honestly, because it's just hard to survive. Even if you can definitely do it with budget heroes, but doing it with budget gear is a different standpoint, right? You kind of need to get good gear to get better gear. But yeah, I'm here on the free-to-play. Let's take a look at what this server has been doing. So we're with no legendaries. You can see people are farming Grave of Venom 8. With almost my exact team, so this is actually perfect. So what I'm doing, I'm using the Adventurer, Horus, Hexandra, Irina, and then I'm using Cyphrus as my healer. But I was gonna literally call out Carrion here as someone else that can do it instead. He also brings a defense up buff, which helps to counteract the decreased defense penalty debuff that the boss puts up. So if you're not always cleansing the debuffs, then like the one debuff from Hexandra, if it doesn't time out well, then hopefully you can at least counteract it with an increased defense buff. This is pretty much what I was going to suggest. And the same one down here, there's also Megan is amazing for Venom as well. You don't even need to make her level 90. She could be 4-star like this guy, but she puts up a defense up and gets rid of defense penalty debuffs. So she's perfect to go against Venom because that's the only debuff you got to worry about. And she brings some extra healing and ultimate boosting and everything too. So I'm using Cyphrus in my team. Let's go ahead in here and take a look. All right, there's the cool animation. It's kind of fun to see. So I'm using Cyphrus, but yes, she's a reviver, but that's not, you know, it's really not what she's in here for, because if I have to revive someone, Horus, then I'm kind of screwed. So yeah, she's kind of a backup if the timing can work out perfect. Sometimes it goes in handy, but I don't really want to have to resort to that. But she does bring a defense up to the bigger version for all allies with that ultimate, and she heals all allies as well based on her max HP. So Cyphrus is my second healer in the team besides Hexandra. But like I said, you don't need Cyphrus. You could use Megan. You could use Carrion. You could use Meredith. You could, yeah, if you have the other epic poison hero, Garion, you could use him for a healer. It's really just about extra support to help keep the tank alive. It's all about keeping the tank alive. Which I have this on her, not to do with the actual bottom part here, but the HP. Literally, this is on her just to give her 15% HP boost, honestly. So we're in simple HP percent, and a skill haste set to help her come back to her skills faster. So no skills are leveled up on my Cyphrus. Then I have the Adventurer in here as Frost. So depending on who you have to use as a second healer, you might kind of lose the synergy. You want to ideally have a 3-person synergy to go with Horus, because you're going to want those extra buffs if you gave them. Plus 50 accuracy is really needed to make sure he's landing the attack penalty if you're not really boosting your accuracy elsewhere. So keep in mind that like these stats here, like my Horus is only 142 accuracy. We need 170 accuracy like on stage 8. But I have this 3 hero synergy bonus of plus 50. So you can take that into consideration. It does not show that when it comes to your hero stats. So he should be pretty good. I would love more resistance. We don't have any resistance. I'm kind of regretting not putting the resistance on people, but that's actually what I ended up doing. I actually went ahead and gave him a resistance rune. I don't have an accuracy one anyway, to help him maybe sometimes resist that defense penalty debuff. So Horus here, he's the main tank. He's so good for this. I was just not having any luck with epic pulls, and I knew how important Horus was going to be for Venom, for Ancient Battlefield. So I actually, even though I always tell people don't book Horus because this doesn't book up to 100%, I ended up booking Horus, but that's because I'm on a weird challenge account. It's a little bit more niche, you know? Like, I wouldn't book Horus on my main account probably, though, because even if I need to use him, I just don't think he's worth the books. But yeah, I did end up booking him almost fully. I would like to get this one more book just because of that. But the shield is really, really nice as well to help keep him alive. So I'm probably gonna, sadly, fully book Horus, but I shouldn't hate on him. I just really don't like him because this isn't 100%. And then guess what happens? I pull Furboth down here. You see my 4-star Furboth? Of course I did. After I booked Horus, I pull Furboth. But oh well, anyway, Horus is our guy for now. So he's in defense percentage chest, HP percentage gloves, and then I kind of just got as much defense and HP on him as possible. I would prefer to have defense gloves, probably, if I can, to get more damage out of him here. I actually like to have some fun. When I do goblin runs, or my Vortex, my guild boss, whatever, Vortex, I put him in crit rate gloves and a crit rate set as well to make him do a little extra damage, and it actually helps a lot. But nothing crazy here on Horus. And again, the artifact I have is the #1 epic one you should get, which is the Crown of the Unclean. So he's in that. Then we have the Adventurer here as Ice to be a shielder. So I have attack percent focus where I could get it, but attack percent, attack, and attack, because these wonderful, wonderful shields are based on attack. Now, this debuff, I do not have any accuracy really on them to worry about landing. The speed penalty, movement speed one, I'm not too worried about that. And I do have Manticore statue on the Ice Adventurer, because the Ice Adventurer smacks with that battle skill. It actually is pretty impressive. 400% damage is pretty great for a battle skill. So the Manticore statue is perfect to put on them. Plus, it gives them more attack for sake of the shield. The shield is based on attack. And with this, keep in mind, this is only level 8, guys. Nothing I have is level 20, which is pretty funny. So Hexandra is our other free-to-play friendly healer. She's also 5-star. She's only using the cards here with, level 12, not even maxed as well. I do have as much enlightenment and attack as I could get on her. My runes are really lacking, so we don't have what we need down here, but hey, a little bit of HP to make sure she also can heal herself decently with her ultimate. It doesn't hurt. And the resistance doesn't hurt too, to maybe resist some poisons or something else and some other content. So this is fine for now. She is pretty squishy because she's so attack based, but I do have her booked up, of course, here as a rare, a little bit easier to book. And then we have Irina. So I love Irina. She hits pretty hard. I do have her with a little damage build, kind of, sort of, not really, with a little bit of crit rate thrown in the mix and trying to get enough accuracy to land her debuffs. So I do have her with an accuracy blue rune, attack rune as well. And yeah, keep in mind she has attack penalty 2 on her ultimate that does a 100% chance to land when booked. So she's amazing. I love her. I've got her fully booked now, and I'm using her in a lot of content with only a level 8 little artifact here. Definitely don't need to have an epic one. You could get away with the rare ones just fine. It might even be better to put on the one like the one we get for free that's like this one here. This would be fine to put on her as well, or anyone really. Or if you need more accuracy, then to do that. My accuracy is low though, but like I said, we have the boost here. But I was also finding if it was a little bit risky, the food I chose to use was actually just some defense boosting and accuracy boosting as well. So I was using this fish soup for defense plus 10% and accuracy plus 15 for more consistent runs with this gear. And then I actually did get a couple pieces of legendary gear that gave my adventurer a lot more attack, which made even bigger shields. So I was able to stop using that gear, or that debuff, and it was doing just fine. But if you find yourself you're lacking a little bit, just pop a consumable. It really makes a huge difference, and people don't always utilize them well. By the way, you can also stack consumables if you're stacking up the same one, so it lasts longer if you're doing a bunch of runs. But let's go ahead and play this. So we are just gonna let this play out. My adventurer is going to do pretty amazing damage here. You saw my positioning, right, as well. So there's some different positioning you can do. Actually, let me go back. Let me quickly talk about the positioning. All right, so coming to the positioning, we should talk about that first. This is what you kind of can do if you have one melee unit and the rest are all ranged units. You can do something just like this. You also can have the unit like here instead is fine, or like it could be a little bit slightly different and still be okay. But you don't want your adventurer in this spot or this spot, ideally, excuse me, or whoever is in this spot, unless they're very tanky and they can survive the hits from the boss, because they will get attacked with one of this skill here, and you don't want that. So if they're over just one spot, you're actually saving them from that extra blast. And that's kind of the main layout, I guess, for sake of that. But if you have a bunch of units where, if you're doing a, what is like 2 melee and 3 ranged, you'd have, let's see, you have your main tank here. And I want to make sure I set this up right. Then you could have your other healer, and then your other melee unit here. Pretend she's melee. And then you could bring your other ranged unit up here. Or I think they can be actually here as well. Either one of these spots seem to be fine for this kind of layout. But this is for multiple melee if you pretend that Irina is melee. But all right, let's get back into position. And this is going to allow us to not get hit, except for Horus really taking the smacks. And Cypherus is going to be back here in the corner, just chilling. But yeah, that was a little bit of a long intro to get into the battle. But instead of waiting to the end to explain it all, I wanted to talk about it right up front so you guys can truly see this is about as budget-friendly as you can get. Sure, I have some epic artifacts, but this is a level 8 epic artifact. Just use a level 20 rare one and you're just as good. Alright, let the battle play out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
of course, I get like worst case scenario where Horus actually does die, but with a tiny bit better gear that wouldn't have happened, or maybe the choice to use the consumable for I'll show you the statistics here. Irina's being a beast. Um Using the consumable to improve resistance and accuracy would have helped Horus here to have a little bit better resistance. And I think with that, it might have been enough to resist the decreased defense or the defense penalty debuff a little bit more often, which could have been just enough to make that happen. Now, to perfect this team, I don't have any presets done, no presets. So we could make a preset. You could time it so that Irina is always using her ultimate to make sure she's using the attack penalty. You could do that just right. So that way she's always using it for right before the boss uses his ultimate. That would be huge alone. So there's so much room for improvement on this team with my level 8 artifacts and all purple gear. Hell, look at this. This isn't even leveled up. Level 12. So that's kind of what it, like, I really wanted to show. This did have, again, the worst RNG possible, actually having people die and needing my revive. But the other thing to consider too is putting like this wonderful banner on Horus, especially if you have other reliable attack penalty people, you don't need as much accuracy. Or if you can get enough accuracy on him to land your debuffs without the crown, you can definitely use this, this banner on him for really great survivability. And then you can put the crown on her instead. Like, that's something to consider as well, because it would help Horus to survive a lot better, and she would still be the one popping out some decreased defense, some defense penalty debuffs, and it helps give her the accuracy to land her debuff anyway. So there's a lot of flexibility to be had to improve the reliability of this. Or like I said, I actually did end up getting a couple pieces of gear that were legendary, and I put a level 20 with a couple attack rolls, and then I put a level 20 with no attack rolls, but hey, whatever the hell this is to make this set. And that improved my attack enough to, but it's level 20, it's bigger, it's better, higher level. That made me 100% success with no extra buffs. So there's so much you can do to experiment with your team. It really just comes down to taking advantage of consumables. Like, okay, if the Frost Adventure is just killing it with damage, and you're like, you know what? Or if you're using fire, go ahead and use the attack ones instead. Use the meatballs I have here behind me. Fire damage plus attack. Or if you're using the Ice Adventure, cold damage plus attack. Or Irina is your best damage. Use the lightning plus attack for the whole team. Try different consumables to kind of fill the gaps of what you're missing in your gear, especially if you have like all epic gear and you're trying to push into the legendary. But keep in mind, I'm on stage 8, not stage 7. So if you're farming stage 8, you should have a couple pieces of legendary gear on your people before you worry about from farming stage 7, before you start worrying about farming stage 8. So I tried to shortcut it a little bit, and I could definitely improve by getting a little bit better levels on some of these pieces. That's as simple as that. That would be huge. Getting more enlightenment and attack on my Hexandra so she actually heals even better with her battle skill. Like, there's so many things to work on here, and I really love this team, and I do think it's going to be very solid and reliable for my farming right now. My server for the free-to-play account is... Remember, guys, this is my Starlight Challenge. I've not pulled a single Heliolite die. I've only pulled Starlight dies. So I'm working with what I've got from that, which is a lot of fun, honestly. But my server is like almost a week behind, so I haven't got the double drop rates or the increased drop rates for legendary gear yet. So I wanted to work out my team so I could have, better drop rates in a couple days. So hey, I think I got it rolling. And I think with just a couple more farming, just getting a few more pieces of gear to give people that level 20 gear instead of level 16 gear is huge. And that will help this to be more consistent. But hope this conversation and video was helpful if you're working on farming your legendary gear for Grave of Venom. And I'll see you in the next video.